All right. Today Wednesday? Yeah, today's Wednesday. We got FOMC. A gap fill right at open. A bit of SMT there. No entry. Like, really love that 30-minute. 30-minute candle was nice. Candle was really nice. Too fast. Overnight lows at 81.25. Why didn't that work? Hey, Koshik. Straddle today, I believe, is around 48 points. Who's speaking? Straddle today sitting around 48 points. So much higher than yesterday. Yesterday was sitting around 30 and likely due to FOMC, I would imagine. Oh, is he speaking with the Indian Prime Minister? Ooh, okay. Where are we going here? "30 minutes to just down." I really like the way it looks. I would think we at least sweep overnight lows on ES here, if not previous day lows. But I think we might have just gap filled. So be wary about that. This is the VIX pop-up. Apparently a lot of dealers basically have to buy vol. which is why after the VIX expiration this morning, you're seeing a nice pop up in the VIX. I think it expired at around 16. VIX is at 1605, I believe. That was settlement. And then we popped up to about 16.5. YM is popping up. Amazing. What's happening here? Why? Yeah, I would consider that a gap fill, and now we're starting to move up here. So I would have expected a sweep of some sort. Come on now. It's very possible we also chop before FOMC. The OptionsDepth chart is very light. Are you referring to your feed or for the Trump thing?
Because it's a
It looks like it's live. Yeah, it looks very live. Let me check the Fox News feed. Because they said that he's supposed to be holding a meeting with Modi. Hang on, what's happening here? Let me check this. Yeah, the Fox one is not on, which is kind of funny. The one that you sent me is live. I think. Or appears to be live. Still no sweep of the overnight lows on ES there. NQ is pretty far away from the overnight lows. Pretty much dead center from the looks of it. Still chopping around quite a bit here. Yeah, gamma is extremely light. At most, I would like to see us run towards 7510. It's 7500 is extremely supportive. That was close to a sweep on ES, but nothing. But it was just shy. All right, NQ's kind of popping up here while YM takes a little break. What are we gonna do here? Just smack dab in the middle. We got our gap fill, so if we do run up, seems all right. Gamma is extremely light here. So that is 9:30. Oh, smack. You know what I forgot to do? I forgot to look at Alma's report. Give me 1 second here. I'm gonna readjust everything. Centroid 7452. 74. That is way down there. 7452. That's very odd for a centroid. Upside pivot 7530 on SPX. 7530. Oh, we're almost there already. And the upside pivot, upside magnet is on. Above the upside target is reversionist 7590. 7590 is very magnetic. It causes drift. 7520 and 30 zone is more likely. All right, let's see if we get the upside drift. Upside target 7626. Big range today based on Alma. Downside pivot 74.25. That's way down there. 74.25. This doesn't seem right, but 74.25. Target is 73.64. 73.64. Wow, that is so wild. The levels are insane. Open was 75.16, so we're looking at 40. I think the straddle takes us to about there. Yeah. It's like I forgot to do prep today. 70. Right. That nullified that green candle. That 30-minute candle that I liked for downside. That's gone now. Are you still having Wi-Fi issues, Koshik? Yeah, there's just like no positioning here. It's kind of amazing. And then the range is almost clearly 7,600, 76, 7590 and above is like super resistance. And then 7,500 is supportive. Oh yeah, I asked you if your Wi-Fi is still acting up. Nice. Yeah, today my Wi-Fi seems to be working okay too. Yeah, it's just nothing here until like that 7590 area and then 7500. I thought we would head down a little bit further to check to test out that 7500 area. Yeah, that's where I'm seeing too. I kind of want to try this. Especially after the YM sweep here of the previous day highs. Hopefully we get a decent entry. I'm seeing nothing. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything like super favorable of that move. Unless, like right now, NQ and YM are acting, they're doing opposite things right now. So whenever YM pulls back, NQ goes up, which has been kind of making ES act a little bit funny. And now YM's head back up and NQ is kind of showing a little bit red, just slightly. Yeah, YM is insane right now. Like yesterday's pump above all-time highs. Actually, previous day pumped. So Monday pumped above all-time highs, and then TJI. Is it IWM? IWM. Oh yeah. No, that's the Russell index. Yeah, I think it's very possible. Yeah, I'm gonna give it a shot. Let's go. $94.25 entry for me. I think we're seeing something very similar. I like YM's previous day high sweep. Don't get me wrong, we can still sweep again. Yeah, we were one tick away from the AM lows. I think I'll probably get stopped out here. It might be a little bit early. And do we get any SMT here? SMT's on like a higher time frame. Nothing on the lower. And the 1 hour looks like it wants to close green, which kind of is concerning for this trade. Oh, 75.98. 75.9. Oh, 9.3, 9.3. 75.83. And yeah, I think that 930 low was like 0.25. Like we almost swept it this morning. What I would have wanted to see is a sweep off of that and then go long, but it didn't even do that. I'm getting nothing on the 5-minute besides, well, sorry, I'm not getting anything on YM besides it's a previous day high sweep after two massive green shoot candles on the 15-minute. Pay attention to NQ hitting 930 lows. Yeah, I'm watching that too. I'm not sure what VIX wants to do here, but we're still up at 16.38 with a slight gap below. We also got 10 a.m. news, so it's not great. No 10 a.m. news? I think, isn't there like some, oh, it's maybe it's really light. It's pending home sales. That's what I'm seeing on my calendar. Yeah. So it could give you some like herky-jerky price action there. Oh, but if NQ sweeps here, it's over. Right before 10 a.m. news. It's a good chance I cut this right at the NQ sweep there. All right, I'm cutting it. 56. Just in case. Just under 8 points for me on that play. I think the risk was also... The risk was 6 points. Yeah, we should get the sweep though. Like, no doubt here. Ah, I forgot to enter on my Tradeify account. God damn it. That was only on my Lucid account. But that was good for 8 points. Probably could have squeezed out another 3 points or something. But so be it. That was a good... I think that was a decent trade. I like that you say it's wonderful. I personally don't think it was a wonderful trade. I think I would not consider it A+. Especially because YM has not moved yet. This has all been NQ driven. I probably could have held for previous day low. Also would have wanted to see some sort of SMT on the lower time frame, but didn't get to see any of that. Yeah, I agree. It definitely would have been. I tried to turn on my trade copier there, but it didn't work. So I'm a little bit annoyed because I thought it worked. And one of the other things, one of the other reasons why I entered is because we were near the upside pivot of Alma's. I was a little late on putting that one on. But that line at 75.30 was her line in the sand for upside drift. So if we did move above 75.30, we can expect a move towards 75.90, I would think. At least 75.50. So she goes on to say, today's worst Geo News VIX buyback. She was the one that made me aware of the VIX buyback, which is the expected move up in VIX. So watch futures. 7,600 is a big level for ES. And 7,600 was the level that we basically rejected. Unreal. Okay. I should have given this a better read. Downside levels are 75.30 or 40 zone to buy. But to be honest, as we get the new Fed chair, we should really wait. We should wait for how hawkish he comes and how Trumpish he will be. We can't know now. We know what he should do. We know what Trump thinks he should do, but we don't know what he actually will do. I still keep my initial bias. Better avoid trading today and wait into next week with OPEX and FOMC behind us. All right, let's see 7,500 here on SPX. Just above the previous day low on ES. This is the reason why, and this morning, so let's say that 940 candle, it almost touched that swing low from 757. Like, I would not have wanted to stay in that trade. Mind you, I probably, like, if I was short prior to 940 and we went within one tick, there's a good chance that, like, this is why I always like to place my TPs above the liquidity levels because of days like today. And then we did it again. And we bounced up 10 points from 75, 78. And when that happens, man, like, patience just dwindles down. The emotional capital also kind of dwindles down. Be interested to see if VIX can move up towards 17.5.6. I think it's a previous gap there. shouldn't it count as a gap though? Gap detector should be on. Yeah, it's gonna take a lot to get through that 7,500, 7,495. That is a customer put spread, which means they're collecting premium. So you short this, you short the 7,500 put strike. So you're collecting the higher premium there, and then you hedge it with the 7,495 strike. So like the difference between the two strikes would net maybe $1 or something like that. And they have like 4,000 positions. So 100 times 4,000 positions, you're looking at 400K. If the market should stay, if SPX should stay above 7,500 by end of day, then these guys make 400K based on this position. I think it's $1. I'm not sure. I didn't actually check the difference between the two. I can check right now, I guess, but it looked like they put it on the previous day. Yeah. They did put it on the previous day. Let me see here. $7,500. Yeah, right now it's about $1.50 difference. $1.60 maybe, if you're lucky. $1.50. So it would be closer to 600K if they make it. If they do win this trade. Which is kind of insane when you think about it. Yeah, that's wild that it just didn't sweep the previous day low. I feel like this is an opportunity for re-entry. You took a long trade? I think this oh, I see why you took the long trade. I'm just seeing it now. The 10 o'clock candle is so freaking green. I do still think that we're gonna go lower, but what was that anyway? 7507, 7507. Yeah, basically anything can happen in the middle here between 7490 and 7545 on SPX. But I would really want to see some sort of sweep and on ES. That sorry, I want to see the previous day low sweep. YM is on its rocket ship right now. Yeah, I'm gonna just treat today as a scalp day. Assume that we'll pop on every single liquidity grab or reject off of every single liquidity grab until wash. Oh yeah, the overnight low on NQ. Yeah, high of day as in overnight highs or the regular trading hours highs. $7,600 ES. Yeah, okay. Regular trading hours. Yeah, that makes sense. That's the thing, like, that's the one thing that I always kind of, it always messes with me during my decision-making process. And it's when ES sweeps and NQ doesn't. Like, when that happens, in theory, it should be an SMT, right? Which is what you're getting. But it also makes me think that, hey, like, we're likely to head back down and sweep whatever NQ did not sweep, right? And both have a liquidity level that it can go back down to retest. If that move is supported or not. Yeah. Well, yeah, that's why you got in after the 10 o'clock candle, right? It was so good. Don't get me wrong, I hate the way the 1 minute looks. Like, to me, it doesn't look like a trending move where like 3 or 4, there's a lot of candle overlap in general. Like the down move it took a while for it to kind of play out. And then it finally went, luckily, and it went pretty straight line-ish, right? But the up move here, it was like it's chopping up on the 1 minute. I don't know where this heads. Like I'm not in favor of any of this. I do have to watch the 1 minute volume a bit more with the bull bear indicator, especially after sweeps. I gotta pay attention to that. I still prefer, I really like my 5 minute volume candles. Like, in theory, I would have been able to get in after 10:05 based on that high volume candle. But the only problem is the payoff isn't as good as where you entered. I think you entered much better. 75 by 75 8 oh 83 75 83, yeah. Oh, okay. I know why my trade copier isn't working now. It's set on the wrong contract. Wow. So rather than let NinjaTrader automatically roll everything over, I said I would do it manually because I wanted to continue trading the ES June contract. And I completely forgot that I had to do that on my trade copier too. Wow. Okay. Now I know. It's not often I get it to manually override, but I just wanted to do that because TradingView hadn't switched over yet, because NinjaTrader switched over on Friday. If NinjaTrader switched over on Friday, in theory, Tradeovate being the same company, they probably switched over on Friday too, right? Oh, it switched over Monday. Wow. Interesting. I'm gonna check the other Discord channel. ODTs have less volume today. Yeah, because the expiration's tomorrow. Well, if we're talking about SPX anyways, yeah, the expiration's tomorrow. It doesn't make sense why ODTs would lack volume today though. Oh, maybe people are just trading less intraday because they know that Warsh is coming on. Yeah, it looks like Trump's sitting beside Modi now. Yeah, it's very possible that today is balanced. I mean, we're seeing it here on in the positions too. So you look at this, the net positions, like this couldn't be any more balanced. Like there's no positions here. All right, looks like the meeting with Modi is done. Yeah, today is definitely not a day I would play a directional ODTE play. Just because Warsh is going to be on and anything kind of goes. And also the straddle should hold its value up until Warsh gets on. So there's no decay, and all the decay comes at one time. Like by decay I mean like theta burn. So the straddle like over time you're supposed to the straddle value decreases, right? Options prices decreases. But vol should hold, which means the straddle, like even though theta burns, the vol premium offsets that theta burn because of the event-based volatility. So they call it event-based volatility. Let's see, 10:30, 10:26 right now. Yeah, the straddle's at 45 points still. And it should hold value. I mean, it's a great day for premium collecting, but you gotta make sure that you don't, like, Warsh could just totally wipe you out. Yeah, net 7,500 position. If we blast through that, that dude's gonna lose like 400k or 600k, whatever it is. It's probably a firm of some sort, though. It's probably not an individual trader. Yeah, it looks like from SpaceX's IPO, they closed 160. So people could have traded that, and it looked like it bought up from 160 to about 124, 125 highs. And now it's back at 196. I mean, for the ballsy people, they got 40% gain on that. I'm not in love with anything here. I really want to see that Monday gap open fill, or at least test it of some sort. So far, we haven't even retested that gap at all on ES. And I thought today would be the day to do it. We're rejecting that 7,600 level again on ES and that upside pivot. Nice. 55. Let's go. Question is, what was the major change that you made? There's a megaphone in the works here. Very odd. Nothing, no change, just taking trades, what I must take, and with the right size. Nice. Good. Yeah, I find that for whatever reason, I stay at around that 55% win rate. Sometimes I might be at 50, sometimes I might be at 60, but I always come back to 55. Which is why I know that I have to ensure that the risk reward is more greater than 1 every single time. Man, this might be this megaphone pattern. And then we're going to run down towards that 7,500 on SPX. We'll see if we can actually run down, but it's pure chop so far. Yeah, this is what I'm seeing for a megaphone. A, B, C, D, E. 5-wave megaphone pattern. And in theory, we should head lower. But this area here, it's going to be a tough one. There was no signal there for me to short. I could have forced one. Yeah, 3 or 4 losses in a row. Yeah, that's not uncommon for me either. Very common for me. Yeah, This is what I was thinking. Like, remember what we talked about last week for like, let's say today's entry, you had one account that went in at 83.25, I think 83.50, I forget, but then you could have got like a way better entry at like 79, maybe 80. And you're like, oh, that's an extra $150. But also your risk has diminished to 2 points on SPX, right? Or on ES. So you can actually enter with 2 ESs in theory. But that's only if you had the 2 accounts. But I wouldn't copy trade. I would definitely do, it's like spreading risks. So your initial risk was 1 ES, 5 points at 83, right? For your trade this morning to go long at about, I don't know, 10:02, 10:01. And you got a 5-point entry, and then it came down and you're like, oh, look at that. Now I can get 2 points of risk, and then you get to go in with 2 ESs, or just stick with 1 ES, and your target is the same. Your risk is just very small. It's like, to me, it's like DCAing, but you're not really DCAing on the same account. Like you're using the prop firm methodology to your advantage. Like you're kind of like, it's like going to the casino and playing blackjack and you're counting cards. But the odds are better in your favor if you do that. You're working against the house, if you will. I mean, that's why there's a lot of places that don't allow you to DCA, right? But that rule, I think, no longer exists for the most part. And this is looking real good. I should have just jumped in the middle, because this is what I think is happening. But it would have been a very poor risk reward had I entered in the middle there. I want to trade 3, 5, or more accounts at the same time. Can't manage 2 trades at the same time, even if it was the same setup. You might be with TradingView, or not TradingView, sorry, Trade of 8. So if you're gonna do 5 accounts, let's say, maybe you do 3 copied on that one, and then 2 copied on the other. So and you get to do the same DCA across 2 different accounts, but you're copying 3 and 2. I just don't like, I don't know how the Trade of 8 trade copier works, but I know that they have a trade copier. I just don't know if you can do that. And as I understand it, I think the guy that I learned this from, I think he was the one that said that Trade of 8 allows him to use multiple DOMs. So he can set the accounts. So he has like one screen dedicated with 10 DOMs, and he would enter in at different times. which is kind of wild. And I wanted to see a little bit lower on that one. Yeah, like with NinjaTrader, I have 2 charts up. I have 2 accounts up, and technically I have a trade copier for each one of those accounts or each one of those screens. So one copies into my live account, and then the other one copies into my whatever, like my evals or funded account. Man, I kind of wish that it looked a little bit better on the 5-minute there for me, for the short. But I didn't really see much. But now the 5-minute setting, it's showing long, but I really wanted to see us a little bit lower on SPX there. Yeah, this is one of the reasons why I like to draw in these patterns. A, B, C, D, E. That's just a megaphone pattern here on EWT or technical analysis. And I really wanted to see us come here, hit the put credit spread support. And that put credit spread you can pretty much see right here, 7,500, 74.95. So I thought we would head a little bit lower. But we swept previously low, and there was a good 1-minute opportunity there. I would have already paid about 6 points. With a 6-point stop loss, but we're likely to continue up here. Oh, something just happened there. What just happened? Okay. Now we're at the quick credit spread support, but something led to that move. That caused us to push a little bit further there. But this is, yeah. So typical megaphone 5-wave pattern. Yeah, your ABC. ES also did it too on the 5 minutes. You can see it here. And then we tank down. What are we going to hold here? That's the question. What happened? Wait, let me guess. Let me look at the 1 minute candle here. Yeah. You went long the 1041 candle after the close, and you took profit or moved to break even right before that massive move down. Tell me that I'm right. Oh, you short? Did you short? One hour long. Nice. And you took profit right before it hit, right before that red candle. Nice, nice. That's a good. That's a good one. I actually don't even know what drove that. I'm not seeing anything in the news. Or maybe it hasn't hit the tape on or for the free version of Financial Juice. But I was considering shorting. I didn't like the risk there. But damn, that would have been really nice. I wouldn't even know where to take profit. Well, I think I would have taken profit around like 6.3, 6.5. Because that was the next value LVN. Low value node. But now I don't trust it anymore because we got the sweep of the overnight lows on NQ. And so far every sweep has bounced. Almost the entire range. But that was prior to that was during the megaphone, which is okay. Megaphone, that's supposed to happen, right? You sweep, you bounce, and you sweep again, and then you bounce, sweep. Yeah. And it looks like we're supported here as expected. It overshot that 95 level by like 5 points. But it did hold. Now the question is, do we grind it here and then move lower? Because if we grind it here, we can wear this out. And then finally it'll start, then we'll start to cascade to like 74.65. Maybe even 74.50. YM went down to fill all its fair value gaps there. So maybe we're ready to go. But I personally wanted to see us move into this gap here on ES. And maybe that's a wash thing. Maybe that happens during wash. During the FOMC. Or maybe it doesn't happen at all. Question is, do we head lower from here? I don't think I can take a trade though. The risk is too large for me. I mean, I can lower my risk with MES, but I'm not seeing anything that I particularly want to trade either. Have you copied accounts before, Koshik? Gotcha. Have you ever copied evals though? No? Because I know your goal said to one of the things that you mentioned was that you wanted to copy accounts, manage multiple accounts at the same time. One of the things that I notice with copying accounts is that it really messed with my mental, like my mindset, because there's many accounts that are at risk now, and I find that when I do copy accounts, if it happens to be, so this is the reason why I like having 2 different executions possibly, or maybe even 3 executions for the same trade with better risks. Nice. Yeah, that'll be good. Yeah, because I definitely find that even copying evals for me, I do find that it puts me in a different state of mind. Like, it's very different from just trading a single account for me. Like, it kind of took me a little bit of time to break that mental barrier. And even to this day, I don't know that the mental barrier has been completely broken yet for copying multiple accounts. Which is when I discovered from one of the other YouTube streams how they DCA between accounts. I really like the way that it reduces risk. I will keep this which is why I tend to have inconsistent risks. So if one of my trades had like $300 risk and I was able to get a second entry for $100 risk, I'll keep the same $100 risk. At times I may double it, but I often just keep the same positioning. And that helps my mental a little, is what I find. Like, psychologically, I'm able to take the trade without being too worked up during the trade. So it's like one of those things that you do have to like build up some scar tissue on, I find. Scar tissue, or get used to, whatever terminology. Because I remember like copying like 5 accounts, 5 evals at the same time, and I was doing it with Apex way back in the day, and I guess I was like on a roll or something, but for whatever reason I just blew up all the accounts, and 5 accounts were gone like that. Luckily they were under $20 per account, so it wasn't too bad. But it sucked. Like, that's when I realized, like, oh yeah, okay, this is a different game. Like, I can't just copy that many accounts and start like that all at once just because I'm on a roll. And being on a roll doesn't really mean anything, because like you said, like, you can take 4 losses in a row right after like a big win. Yeah, that's awesome. That's great. And I think that's the better way to move. And then you work from one account, then you go to 2 accounts, right? And then you'll find a way that works best for you, because everyone is different. Some things that I might find better for me is not going to be the same for you. Yeah, and frankly, all of us start the exact same way, because it's like one of those things. It's so easy to start, and you can see the price move and you're like, oh, I can catch like 10 points on that. That's no problem, right? And everyone has like the same approach when they first start. I don't know a single story that starts with success immediately that I believe. But it seems like most people take, some people apparently take 6 months, but I have no, I don't know about that. I think most people tend to take like 2+ years. Sometimes even longer, because it depends how long you mess around for. And a lot of people like chasing the holy grail. And for a while, for me, that was it. Like I was like, oh, I gotta find this holy grail. There's got to be that one trade strategy that trumps them all, right? It's a good story. Um, I think I have a very similar story. I passed Apex pretty early on too. I I think it took me a month though, maybe a month and a half. I, I seem to remember about 6 weeks for me. And and yeah, it's interesting because like you can pass an account so quickly, especially when there's no daily loss limit, right? And there's no consistency. And I think a lot of the pro accounts are like that. The only problem is they cost that much more, right? But yeah, like with Apex, it was quite nice because like they were like $20, $19 or whatever the heck it was. So it was just like leading accounts. Boom, 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 blow, blow, blow. And that's when I think my pass rate was like 5 to 10% maybe, which kind of sucked. But now like I take things a lot slower. I mean, you can see my Tradeify account. It's still sitting at 52,000. And it's probably been like that for a good 2 weeks now. Where I get to 52,000, I come back down to 51,500. And it's just like a back and forth battle. And sometimes I forget to take trades in it because that's where I copy my live account. I trade the Tradeify account and I copy my live account typically. So I take it a lot slower and I only want to take good trades. I think everyone has that exact same story as you when they first start. Like I thought it was like, oh man, passing these accounts are so easy. Like it only took me 6 weeks. I can't believe it took these guys an average of 6 months. And then I realized shortly after, I was like, oh, okay. Now I understand. It came just as quick. It was gone just as quick as it came. And then I would realize that for a lengthy period of time, once I got funded, so once I passed an eval account, my trading changed completely. So it just didn't make any sense, like why I would change my trading, because then the stats completely change, right? So that was a struggle that I was having too. So once I got more consistently funded, I was having a hard time getting a payout because I was treating the account like not like an eval. Like I was treating, like the way I treated a eval was like very strict approach, but I tried to get more strict with past account or funded account, which makes no sense because then whatever got me there isn't what I'm trading with anymore in the funded account. So that messed with me for a little while. And then I was like, you know what? It doesn't matter. Like, I just had to like snap out of it and build up enough of that scar tissue and get used to trading in a funded account And I was like, okay, let's just go. Let's like I had to practice. Like it's like you practicing meditation. I had to consciously take the trades that I would normally take on an eval. Also, the guys that I trade with, like, they still blow up accounts. They still blow up funded accounts. And it's perfectly normal for them. Like, at the end of the day, you just have to come out on top, right? And they still cycle through accounts. They try to keep their accounts, but at times things happen, right? And you could go on a losing streak. Yeah, you're right. You're right about the 1 month pass. Like every time I would get close to the 1 month, I would oversize to try to make it or break it. I mean, you saw that with the Apex accounts that I was trading. They had no rebuild, but they only gave you 30 days. But with Tradeify, I do have like the rebuild, and my approach was just like, hey, whatever. But yeah, the Lucid account is definitely so much easier. But it was stupid because I passed that in like, I don't know, 2-3 weeks. But I'm taking forever to pass my Tradeify account because it's linked to my live account. So I'm still trading. I'm still like not actively trading the Tradeify in my live account. Like it's not as active as I should be trading it. Like I should have taken that trade this morning. But also my I tried to turn on my trade copier, and for whatever reason, well, now I know what the reason is. It was because it was set on the wrong ticker. That my copier didn't work. But you're done for the day, aren't you? I think you took 2 trades, right? Like I'm gonna stick around and watch what happens with Warsh. So, but I might like be off my computer for like another 2 hours for lunch or something and just kind of hang out. And then I'll get back to the charts right before Warsh begins. So I'll probably be back like maybe 1:45 or something. But yeah, like I just don't know what will happen between now and then. Like I wanted to see further downside, but I just don't know if we do that without I don't know if we do it prior to Warsh. Okay, so some news came in at 11:17. The US and Iran discussed moving up the signing of the deal. The US-Iran mediators are discussing holding the signing of Memorandum of Understanding, currently scheduled for Friday, as early as Wednesday, according to a diplomat from one of the mediating countries and a second source familiar with the discussions. Yeah, Trump probably needs this signed prior to his midterms, which is in November. I don't think he's going to win regardless, though. And if he doesn't win, decisions, it'll be very difficult for his administration to make decisions on their own because they don't have the majority of seats. And right now, his approval rating is just really low. All right, I'll see you tomorrow, Koshik. And tomorrow's the final trade day of the week since Juneteenth is on Friday. So markets will be closed Friday.